Crime scene is a location where an illegal act took place and the area from which most of the physical evidence is gathered or retrieved by trained law enforcement personnel. So napakasimple lamang po ng explanation dito sa crime scene. Halimbawa si A, nagpalot sa tindahan ni Aling Nena at may biglang bumaril sa kanya. Matik na sa tindahan ni Aling Nena, doon yung crime scene. Police photography, the study of the general practice methods and steps in taking pictures of the crime scene, physical things, and other circumstances that can be used as criminal evidences or for law enforcement purpose. So ang police photography ay isang napaka-importanting ginagamit ng mga pulis para ma-record yung crime scene at magsilbi bilang ebidensya. Forensic photography, the process of photographing crime scene or any other objects for court presentation. Ito yung proseso para makunan ng larawan yung buong crime scene at para may i-present sa korte. Hindi lang basta-basta kumuha ng larawan, may mga hakbang din na sinusunod kapag kukuha ng larawan pagdating sa crime scene investigation. Close-up photograph is a picture, still or motion made of the subject at such a distance that only head and shoulders or other separate parts of the body are shown. Close-up photograph. Ito yung malapitang pagkuha ng mga larawan, lalong-lalo na doon sa mga ebidensya. The cardinal rule in crime scene investigation states that a crime scene should not touch, altered, or removed unless it is sketched, measured, and photographed. Sketching, measuring, and photographing. All of these acts must be reflected on the photographic log and photographic sketch, indicating position of the camera, weather condition, type of lens, film, camera, aperture, and shutter speed that had been used. The ideal view of subject or object to be photographed depends upon the type of crime committed. Each case of crime demands different requirements of how it should be photographed. But definitely a close-up photograph is often required, especially on the object attack, weapon use or tools, significant clues such as fingerprints, blood stain, footprints, skid marks, broken glass, wounds, or any other physical evidence. As a general rule, in crime scene photography, photograph the entire scene or the general view of the scene to include nearby surroundings, the address of the crime scene, case number, time and date, and initial of the photographer. An overlapping photograph or shots of the immediate scene, at least in 4 different angles, must be performed. Photograph the body, showing the location, direction where it tends. Mugshot is a photographic shot of a suspect or witness from head to elbow level, taken in various views: front, whole body, and quarter view from head to elbow, front, right, and left side view. The subject is placed at the background with height measurer, barefooted, meaning walang sapin sa paa, without eyeglasses, and holding at the breast level the board with corresponding name and other data. The front full body, front, left, and right side quarter view from head to elbow.
My report is all about the rules of crime scene photography and points remembered in crime scene. 4 rules in crime scene photography. Do not disturb the scene, get a complete series of pictures, pay attention to camera angles, and record all data. First is do not disturb the crime scene. This is the cardinal rule of crime scene photography. Both latter investigators and judges need to see the scene, as it was when the police arrived. As far as possible, plan your pictures before it is touched or altered in any way. After the scene has been photographed in its original state, you may shoot a second series of pictures with minor changes. And also, you can add measuring scales, remove obstacles blocking the view, or do anything else which will make the scene clearer. If you are working with partner, take pictures of him moving objects or adding them to the scene. This will show the jury exactly what was done and why. Second, get a complete series of pictures. You must move around the scene to see everything. Generally speaking, each important object in the scene should appear in at least 3 pictures: an overview, mid-range shoot, and a close-up. Third is, pay attention to camera angles. Relationship of size and distance may be distorted by the wrong viewpoint. Examine the scene in the viewfinder. This shows the scene as your camera will see it. One practical way to assure complete coverage and to provide correct perspective is to follow the 4-corner approach. And that is, ask yourselves questions such as, does this picture reveal the true position of the witness to the crime? Do the skid marks seem longer or shorter in viewfinder than they are in real life? How large is the lead pipe used as a weapon? Shoot must picture with the camera at eye level. Last, record all data. You will often want to stress the key details in a picture. If you do by the making on the print itself, a defense lawyer may accuse you of altering it. For this reason, it is wise to do your marking on a transparent overlay that can remove to show the untouched print. Another way to avoid possible objection is to label the negative from which your prints were made and take them with you to court. Finally, you may want to support your prints with a sketch map of the crime scene and indicate the camera position of each shot. Next is the 12 points to be remembered in crime scene photography. 1. Always take preliminary photographs before the scene is altered in any way. Second, take a complete set of pictures, overall, mid-range, and close-up. Shot from different angles and distances, film is cheaper than lot cases. Third, use fresh film and keep it away from heat. Fourth, keep your picture sharp. Use a tripod if possible. Focus carefully. Be sure your lens is clean. Fifth, avoid backlighting. It creates seal holes and may cause flare. If you must shoot toward the light, shade the lens as best as you can. Sixth, use side lighting to bring out texture, accident damage, tool marks, and any other irregularities on a surface. Avoid it when shooting recesses, containers, and closets. 7. Front lighting is normally the best in police work. Use it unless 3-dimension details need to be recorded. Then use side lighting. 8. The flash provides portable and easily controlled light. In sunlight scenes, it fills in the shadows and bring out details that they might otherwise hide. 9. Aiming your flash at a highly polished surface may cause glare. Point the camera or flash at the surface from a 45-degree angle. 10. Cover the flash with a clean white handkerchief for close subject to prevent the flash from burning the subject in with overexposure or harsh light. 11. When some important objects are near you and others are far away, use your flash but expect those objects closer to you to be underexposed and those farther away to be underexposed. By taking an extra shot without a flash, if there is some available light but you will most likely have to use a tripod or rest the camera on some solid stationary object to prevent a blurred or uncleared image. Last, Keep all your equipment in a good condition and readily available. It will give maximum usefulness and minimum trouble. And that's all. Thank you.
We're gonna start with the basics. First thing we need to remember is we use photos. Because literally, a picture says 1,000 words and photos provide the true and accurate portrayal of our crime scene and the physical evidence that's present there. They record the initial state of the scene before any evidence was removed or any alteration have been made. Now all this information we get from these photographs can later be analyzed, and this particularly useful when we're documenting evidence that might be destroyed in the process of analyzing it, like footprints. 3 types of crime or accident scene photographs include overalls, mid-range, and close-ups. First, the overall photographs document the general conditions of the scene with both exterior and interior views and how the specific crime scene relates to the surrounding area. Their purpose is to show exactly where the scene was to the exclusion of any other location and to show all boundaries of the scene. These photographs are typically taken in an overlapping fashion from the outside of the perimeter looking in and from the center of the scene looking out, covering all areas of the scene. Second, mid-range photographs transition the viewer from an outsider looking in perspective to a more involved perspective. Items of evidence and their spatial relationships are shown, typically by depicting a single item in relation to a fixed object in the scene. Done correctly, this technique will show proper context, perspective, and scale. It will also show the precise position of each item of evidence. And the third is close-up photographs, are deliberate depictions of individual items of evidence. They must show all sides of the item and clearly show any markings, defects, or other identifying features. Each photograph is usually taken twice, once with a scale and once without a scale. The image sensor of the camera must be oriented parallel to the surface being photographed. The item must fill the frame of the camera. Shadows must be eliminated unless they are intentional. Because of these requirements, close-up photography may be deferred until it can be accomplished under controlled conditions.